What's going on, everybody? What's good? Welcome to a fresh episode. We here. We in this thing. We in this thing. Right now, we just doing a sound check right now. Right. Okay, we good. We good. So what's going on, everybody? It's your boy TJ. Welcome to a fresh episode of TJ's 100% Real Talk. And you already know, I got my partner in crime right here. K to the L to the E. You know, say what's up.
I was just wondering if he was just gonna say who it was.
Just say what's up to everybody.
What's going on, good people?
Good. Yeah, guys, I actually created a beat and I exported it to the computer, but I didn't put it on my phone.
Say good job.
Yeah, I didn't put the beat on my phone, so it's still on the computer.
You can still probably play it.
Yeah, but they won't be able to hear it.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to put it on my phone, so I have to make it a track. So I have to export it and then make it a track, and then I have to upload that track to my phone. So once I do that, then we'll be able to have that beat going right now. Going hard already. So we're gonna get right into it. So let's get right into it, man. So we'll get right into it with the intro. See, I'll be playing the music right now. Just right now, I'll be playing it. Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't. But the beat go hard though. It's actually it's pretty good beat. But I'm waiting until my wife finishes. She on the phone right now. I'm waiting until she.
Really?
I'm ready.
I was trying to share your video.
Okay, y'all ready?
So we coming at you live with another fresh episode. Yeah, y'all know how it go. We apply the word of God to this thing we call life and leave you encouraged through the power of His might. So if you're married or single, or just ready to mingle, turn your speaker up because it's time to chop it up with TJ's 100% Real Talk. TJ's 100% Real Talk. Coming at you live with another fresh episode. Yeah, y'all know how it go. We apply the word of God to this thing we call life and leave you encouraged through the power of His might. So if you're married or single or just ready to mingle, turn your speaker up because it's time to chop it up with TJ's 100% Real Talk. TJ's 100% Real Talk.
Already. Now, like I say, next week, man, we're gonna have it. We're gonna have the music playing in the background next week. I got y'all. And hey, look, I took the time to make it.
Somebody might need to send him a reminder.
No, I got it. It just had to upload. I had to export it and I had to create it. So it's done. I just need to put it on my phone. Get off the laptop, put it on my phone. Oh yeah, you already see it. This shirt, So we're gonna, matter of fact, before I introduce this shirt, we're gonna get into the next segment, which is put you on blast already. So you already know this
you
shirt.
You said next segment like we've been doing stuff already. We ain't doing nothing.
Oh Lord. The next segment anyway, because the first segment was the song. Bam.
So I did my own segment.
That's your own segment.
Okay.
So the next segment is put you on blast. What's good? What's going on, everybody? This shirt right here was made by none other than I'm tag teaming.
Oh God! You pointed at me like I made a shirt. I ain't made shit.
This shirt was made no other by This shirt was made by Akeem.
He forgot. That's why he was pointing at me. He wasn't trying to tag team.
No. Seriously, I was trying to tag team. Golly, man. Lord have mercy. Anyways, Akeem Apparel make this shirt, guys. Remember, Akeem Apparel, you can find them on.
Yeah, he ignored me. See, I tried to make it up to him. I tried to show some love and affection, and he ignored my kisses. He didn't want my kisses.
See, we can't even get through the first segment. Lord have mercy.
Listen, this you gotta have.
But you gotta do it at the right time. But look,
No,
I Keen
ever
Apparel.
do anything at the right time.
No, but I Keen Apparel made this. This was made by RDMC. You can find him on Instagram. I believe right now he's selling his shirts there. But I Keen Apparel made this shirt. If you do want him to make a shirt, he do have some designs and everything that you'll be able to check out on Instagram. On Instagram, so that's iKeen Apparel. iKeen Apparel. Okay. But hey, Yanita's life journey. Hey, Gwen's lifestyle. But that's one of the shout outs. Do you have anything that you want to shout out?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So y'all, I'm sorry.
No, I was trying to find his thing so I could show it.
Oh yeah,
the stuff they be moving buttons
stuff
and
around.
stuff on here. Oh, I was pressing the wrong thing too.
There it is right there.
Okay, send him out there. Hold on, let me go. That's in the okay. There you go.
Y'all see it?
Oh, sorry. Then the sauce with the emblem, if you can see it, is yellow.
Really, it's not. No, it's iKeen Apparel.
The logo is yellow. No. It says iKing Apparel. It has like an emblem and a lion in the middle of it, if you can see it. So in case anybody try to search it, you're on the right page. But yeah.
That's it. Yeah. That's
Sorry,
it.
It's that yellow. Now you can't see that yellow that good,
but that company was the one that made this shirt. So like again, like I said, if you want, most of the shirts we wear, yeah. So if you are looking out for a company that that you want somebody to make a shirt for you, or you're looking for one of his designs, his iKeen Apparel designs, check him out. That's RDMC iKeen Apparel on Instagram. Check them out, y'all. Check them out. Support my boy. So listen, guys, if we have no more shout outs, I don't have any shout outs right now. Karla right now is trying to screenshot.
So I was asking for I'll send it to TJ because auntie was asking me to send a screenshot. I don't have her info. Okay. So I screenshotted it. We'll send it.
Oh, you said okay.
I didn't send it to you. Oh, you want me to send it to you?
Well, I was gonna text her.
Just to see how we multitask.
But anyway, so everybody, welcome. What's good, everybody? She can copy and paste it in the comments. She said you can copy and paste it in the comments, but
a picture?
I guess
tell me something. How you do that? Oh, go on.
Okay, yeah. So all right. So we own him, and we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started, man. I don't want to have everybody on here all night long, all night. So listen, guys, tonight is a special episode of Q&A. To you can get to know your people, TJ and Karla, all everything. She was talking about the link. You can
the link to you talking about the link to the page to his IG? How you do that? Oh, you're so small.
So
I shouldn't think about that.
Okay, so guys, I know everybody's out there and everything, so we're gonna get this show on the road. And this is a open question and Q&A. So if you guys got any questions for us, man, we can get this thing started. We can get it rolling, get it started, man. I just wanted to give an opportunity for the people, whatever they had on their mind. What questions they have for us, and of course we got another computer, so if it's something that we have to Google, we're gonna Google it. If it's something that we gotta look up, we're gonna look it up.
I'll tell you in a minute if I don't know the answer. I'll tell you in a minute.
No, this is an open, and I'll say it again. This is an open Q&A. Open, you can ask any question as long as it's respectful. Not disrespectful, but as long as it's respectful, this is an open Q&A. Oh, you ask about food. You can ask about what we do. You can ask about our marriage. You can ask about, you know, anything you can ask about. But this is an open Q&A. And again, it's either if you want to know something about us or if you want to know something about what's out there and everything like that, just, put it out there. There is no topic to stay within. I did not put a topic on this episode because it's just an open discussion. I just wanted to give our listeners and I want to give my listeners in a platform to where it can be an open question that they may have or something that it may be on their heart that they want to talk about or something like that, and then we can kind of discuss it in a segment. Now we'll probably do, well, depending on how long they are, I could probably do up to maybe four or five, however many, and then we can just get it. But again, whatever questions y'all have, so we're gonna be waiting on y'all. Whatever questions y'all have or whatnot, y'all come on with it. Y'all already know what time it is. You already know that it's that time. So once again, hello to everybody. I hope you had a wonderful Friday. It is 4th of July weekend.
Oh, what y'all doing? I want to ask a question. What y'all doing? Who barbecuing and who can I do a drive-by with? That's all I want to know.
I am seeing a lot of guys that is putting women in stereotypes and making it a big issue. Okay, so that's a statement. So what's your question? But yeah, yes, it's 4th of July weekend, and I hope you guys are ready to get out there and pop some fireworks and do something. So, but Yanita's life journey just made a statement. She said, "I am seeing a lot of guys that is putting women in stereotypes and making it a big issue." But I want to know what's her question though, and I want to know what's her question on that. And what she wants us to answer. Because remember, it has to be in the form of a question. The way you put it out there and whatnot. But okay. So we're gonna wait for her response. Did anybody else have any questions for us and everything as we were putting out there? Come on, y'all. I know y'all got some questions. I know y'all got something. Somebody got some questions. Shoot. Are you looking at the new Jays? Or what we talking about? Are we making some?
Tell me something. I am not hip on no
I'm not neither.
Or no fashion.
I'll be straight up. I'll text her right now. What's coming out?
By the time I realize what's coming out, it's been 2 years, if not longer, since it's been out. And I've been talking, ooh.
Oh man. Okay, so first question came out. All right. Barbara Amos says, my question is, God give us choices. Really? Okay, so God give us questions. God give us choices. Sorry, God give us choices. Why can't we agree that a woman's body is her choice? That is interesting. That's a good question. Okay, so we're gonna start with Barbara Amos' question. I say, so God give us choices. Why can't we agree that a woman's body is her choice? Okay. Agreeing that a woman's body is her choice. What does that say to you? Like, how would you answer that?
In other words, more so when that question comes up, not to say that this is necessarily what she's specifically talking about, but more so that question comes up a lot when it comes to abortions, plastic surgery, when they do the breast enhancements, the lip injections, Botox, all that stuff. But usually a lot of people ask that when it comes to abortions because that's always been and will forever be a topic, an issue, something that's going to be in and out of the courts because of, yes, we are people of choice, but God gave us people of choice.
Right.
And that's the key, is that it was God that gave us to be people of choice, but he didn't say that we were people who agreed with everything. Everybody's not going to agree with everything. Everybody's going to have their own opinions. Everybody's going to say and do what they feel is best, whether it's another guy saying it or whether, I mean, another female saying it or whether it's a male saying it. Excuse me, that it's way too many people to say that we all are going to agree on one topic, on one thing. No matter what it is, somebody is going to disagree.
Right.
From that to what day we might want to call this, what national holiday this may be today. God, I have all these 50,000 different talking about what today's national wear red day or something like that. We everybody ain't gonna agree. So it's just because that's just people. It's our nature because everybody has their own opinions. Everybody that they feel, that should be respected. So
Right.
nobody, it's not gonna ever be a point that anybody would agree.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I'm glad that came from you because um yeah, that's true. That's really true what she spoke on. And I'm reading, so we got okay, let's see. Gwen's lifestyle says, are you barbecuing on your new pit soon? Mother, you already know I'm barbecuing that pit. I'm gonna test it out tomorrow. Tomorrow after the guy cut the yard, I'm gonna test it out tomorrow. And then probably do something later. Um, okay, next question. Women are individuals. So this is Nini's continued question. So it says, women are individuals. How do you make a guy know you are not the stereotypes? I think I mentioned this on the last show about some guys going around trying to see, who's a gold digger and who's not. And the stereotype woman of being saying that, oh, they do this and they do that. To be honest with you, what would separate you, and I'm just saying, from a perspective, what would separate is basically, man, just honestly, to I would say having the fruits of the spirit, because for one, men, when they experience a woman, every female has their ups and downs. But you when you separate the two and you have the fruits of the spirit and you're able to deal with things, that man, if he have a discerning spirit, he should know and understand that, okay, she different. He should see something different. He should see uh something different in your character than just the typical woman that's out there. Um, you shouldn't have to act out or open your mouth to say anything to have him think otherwise. Your actions should prove that for you. You shouldn't have to open your mouth and say, well, I don't do this. Like, your actions should prove that. And then if he's a good man, because all men ain't good, if he's a good man and he understands, okay, I'm seeing, man, she a good woman, he's discerning that, then, then he should be able to do that, because a lot of men, some men judge too quickly because of their past experiences with previous women in their relationships. And so what they do is they try to compare that for every new woman that they have met. They'll try to compare that to the last one. Like, oh, wait a minute, she got this going on. She got this going on. But yet and still, that's not how you should compare women. You should find out who she is on your own, and find out, first of all, by praying to God to say, okay, for one, is she the one for me? And then two, okay, God, help me on how I can be a good man for her. And everything. It says some men has issues with that, so they stereotype women for what they of is the best woman for them. I guess it's supposed to be them. Look at what they can do for them. They are more stupid than saying that's okay. That's not. So that's what I believe. You want to say anything on that as far as for it, because some men do that. They do it But it's like a woman shouldn't have to open her mouth to prove that she's not it should be just her actions, but it's the men to discern that.
I mean, both do it. Men and women do it.
Yeah.
But as far as a woman proving, you shouldn't have to prove yourself to anybody.
That's another
Even
thing. You
a
shouldn't have
male
to.
also, a male shouldn't have to prove themselves to anybody. And if you're being you, being who you are, and doing, your actions line up with what you say, you're not just saying, well, I ain't this, but you showing something different, then you won't be your typical stereotype. um there's nothing that you can necessarily there's nothing you can just say solely alone to convince somebody you're not some type of way. No matter what it is, it's gonna have to be like you say, your actions are gonna have to line up with it, because as they always say, or as the saying is, the action speaks louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna show. Just because you can say anything, you can say the right words, you can tickle somebody's ear and all this stuff, but saying the right things. But if those actions don't line up, then what you said doesn't matter anymore.
You don't, yeah.
So it's all about how you carry yourself. It's all about, it's not just what you say.
It's
All of
how
that
you
has
carry
to
yourself.
match. And how
Yep.
you carry yourself, your actions, the things you do. Um, uh, in and out of a relationship, even when it doesn't have anything necessarily to do with a relationship, but they just see how you are as the individual yourself.
Right.
That's what's
Exactly.
gonna keep you from being in that stereotype. And when they're looking for a wife, they're looking for somebody that stands out.
Right.
It's gonna be something about you that's gonna stand out and supersede all the other females that they dealt with before. And
Mm.
all they're going to see, how they're going to see that is through your actions. It's not going to be just your words, because you can talk a good game and not line up.
Yeah, and then she continued to say, I'm just seeing a lot of podcasts. It is a lot of judgment. And it said, no, what I'm saying is there is a notice of podcasts. They are very passionate in what they believe in women. I mean, okay. So for one, you got to be careful what podcasts you listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Because some podcasts, some guys, they invite some of the sluttiest women, or they invite some of the women to kind of prove their point of what they're trying to come across.
That's right. And also
They're
they
trying to
going they
prove
going they going
they're gonna do that, and
they going to
that's
say and talk about what they've dealt with.
yeah,
So
they're gonna do that, yeah.
and they're going to keep feeding what they've dealt with. When they so stuck on, no, this is how certain people are, that's how you can, ain't no changing
Yeah,
that
it's
mind until they ready to see a woman in a new light, or a
right.
different woman or whatever. Otherwise, until after they past hurt and traumas and all the stuff, relationship things that they dealt with that they didn't like and all that, till they work all of that out, then they
Yeah,
gonna keep seeing there's gonna be a
because
never ending cycle.
they're gonna stereotype from again. They're gonna stereotype from their past relationships. Now, we may say, or you may say that, hey, wait a minute, let me correct you on that. But at the same time, everybody experiences is different, and they deal with certain people. Or, but now you shouldn't say that all women are that way. No, that's not true. However, because when people get on podcasts, they're speaking on majority of people are speaking on what they believe and what they think, and it's really experienced on their past experiences, unfortunately. So it's like, hey man, it's like, dude, you gotta, you know you gotta do this and do that, because I've seen a podcast where some guys was like, uh they'll have women on there, and then the woman will be like, I just believe that a guy should do this with me and blah blah blah, and then he'll call her out on it. And then he'll say that, you should, but it's like, dude, you knew what you was doing, you know how she was, you invited her there, and now you're trying to say that all women do that. Like, you can't say that, and everything. And some, I know which ones you are talking about too, and I know one guy, he be going hard, but you just have to be careful with which one of those. It can hurt relationships, but like, again, you know people like when they whatever you hear, like people like the podcast I would probably listen to is you know people like what's his name? What's the singer? Trey. No, oh my goodness, I can't think of his name, y'all. Man, but I can't think of his name. But he real skinny and real small. He's a gospel singer. Um, I can't think of his
Todd
name.
Tribbett.
Todd Tribbett, thank you. Todd Tribbett. I couldn't think of his name. I couldn't. I'm sorry, but Todd Tribbett and his wife, they've been through a lot, and that's something. And I think on a podcast they had expressed, what they've been through and everything, like stuff like that. Yes, but people, they single, they doing stuff. Like, hey man, you need to move around because you're not spreading out good information, or you just trying to spread out on one side of information and then the other side ain't right. Stuff like that. You have to make sure that you are speaking on your behalf, but make sure you're not trying to just include everybody in that same area and just say that, hey man, this is this it is what it is in this category with women. So but yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Nina. I feel you. The next question I saw, let's see, where was it? Oh, next question. Yeah, should Black people celebrate the 4th of July? We didn't book the trip over. Okay.
That's personal preference.
Yeah, because the reason why, and this is just me, but the reason why I would still celebrate is because the Constitution is still for us. Like your rights, um, your rights, how you're able to live in the country, how we were able to, the freedom of speech and all these things. It applies to us. Um, Even on Juneteenth, it's better for us because that was when we were released from slavery and everything. But um, um, but I would still celebrate it because the Declaration of Independence. I'm able to live in this country, and those laws do apply to me to be able to live as freely as we do. So that's why I would celebrate it. I celebrate both. My people were freed on Juneteenth, and for 4th of July, to celebrate the Declaration of Independence. That's very important for us because without that Declaration of Independence, we could be like third world countries to where you can't preach about the gospel in the streets. You'll get shot up and killed. Or you can't have church in this area or they'll blow it up. Can't nobody say nothing. Or women can't do X, Y, and Z. Or men got to do certain stuff a certain way. Some countries are still like that today. They don't have a Declaration of Independence, and that's why I would celebrate the 4th of July. Is because we live in a country by that declaration. Rachel in recovery says, I am an American and I have a right to that declaration of that same independence. Yes. And that's why I would celebrate it, because we all have that right to that Declaration of Independence. That's why I would celebrate it, because if that wasn't there, this would be a totally different country. If it wasn't for that Declaration of Independence. And also, if it wasn't for June 19th, this would be a totally different country. So both, to me, both stand out in the open, and both are worthy to be celebrated. Um, you know, and I did hear some Black people say, I don't celebrate 4th of July. Okay. You don't celebrate it, but you use the laws that's given to you. So why not celebrate it? You use what's available, you know, the amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the First Amendment. You use the amendments, you know. So if you're gonna use those amendments, then hey man, celebrate it. Thank God that you live in a country that has that stuff to protect you. And now we already know that this country struggled with people who were of color, to well for us to fight for the same rights. But that's where we thank God for Martin Luther King and for them for fighting for us to have those rights. That way we can be equal, and that Declaration of Independence can be for us as well. That way we won't be, and that's where the blessing comes for Juneteenth, when we're no longer slaves. So I believe both should be celebrated. Um, um, yeah, and I can understand. Yeah, I can understand that too. Not celebrating Columbus Day. Yeah, that's idiotic. I would not celebrate that false tale. But 4th of July, yes. I would. What are your thoughts on it, dear?
You
Oh,
summed it up.
well, what's your answer to it?
No, that's what I was just gonna say. No matter what, both holidays are beneficial. They're significant. Excuse me. They're significant to our history, as a country and as individuals. So I don't see why not. There's nothing wrong with. I wouldn't knock anybody who does if they choose for choose to, and if they don't choose to, because you do what you do. Basically, you do what you do. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that doesn't. Plus, you're an American, so you live in America. So I mean, if you choose to do it, cool. If you don't, then okay.
Right.
But either way, no matter what, both of them are a part of our history. So they're each in their own respected rights are worth to be celebrated.
Yeah. 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 And yeah, that's why I say we have to. Because I've had certain, like I said, I had certain people that said they don't support 4th of July, and I'm just like, okay, well, you don't understand, but it connects with you. But yeah, it makes sense. But it's just it's like I celebrate both, man. That's just me. I celebrate both because, like my wife just said, they both have significance. Um, really, Nini. That's okay. So I'm gonna get to that in a minute. So okay, my question is, why do men feel that they need to separate finances, bank accounts, and anything else while married? Huh? Lord, Jesus, whole episode, Lord mercy. Okay, Rachel. So why? Okay, man. Golly, it's a lot into that. I'm gonna let you answer that one. That's a lot, bro. That's a no, 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 no,
I knew you was
no,
gonna do that. Just I'm gonna let you go
That's
first.
no, because it's a lot, bro. But go ahead.
Some do have, legit valid reasons that it might be a good idea to have separate accounts.
Mm,
Uh, because depending on what they might have had before they did get married, some things they might not. It might be just too much of a hassle to change. That could be a reason why. Then some, one might be better with finances than the other. So they might be best that they do keep, two separate accounts and make, hey, let's make this one, the main one that all, bills and stuff, everything comes out of this.
yeah,
This one you want to spend, this other account you want to spend whatever are separate. Let that be play money or whatever. Or let that be, other, use that for other stuff. Then do that. But let's have this one account to say that this is all what we needed to make sure that we're taking care of, roof over the head, groceries, stuff like that. All the bills are paid. Some might do that. Some might have to do that.
mm,
Then some might end up using the one as their main account, as a joint account, and then make the separate one a savings.
yeah,
Even though it might not be classified as a savings at the bank, but they might decide, among between themselves, well, this one is going to be our savings, then, or let's dip in this one if we need to, or
Mm-hmm.
let that be the emergency fund or something. Then we just use this main account. But I mean, it's so many reasons that people do it, and there's so many reasons that people don't do it, and you can't really just knock either side because you just never know. It's like it's whatever works best for them.
Right.
So if it's easier, especially like with like I said, if it's easier, especially like when it comes to cars, paying, car notes and all this and that stuff, you got stuff linked to this account, and then you don't want to forget what you got linked to this, to one account, and you try to close and make one joint account, you might end up forgetting and forget something, that's just important as or whatever. It could be so many different reasons why people and then yeah, some do make it some it is a trust issue, unfortunately. Um
But
there's some
what? But
people
then, how did the trust issue get there? Like, was he gambling? Was he or
that
she,
could be that could be something
blowing the
that,
money up?
or that
Yeah.
could be like how some people were raised, and then sometimes females, and I've heard this a lot from older women, was that you always set yourself aside something just in case, as a just in case, make sure you got something, make sure you good just in case that don't work.
Right.
And a
Right.
lot
Right.
of
Right.
people have that mindset. A lot of people do that, and it's not to necessarily just, that's just how they were raised, and it's not to necessarily say that they just don't trust that person, but they just, that's how they was taught. You always have something to the side. But then you do have some that there is actually trust issues, that they're not good with money. They
Right.
just, they frivolously spend it, or they don't think about this stuff and that stuff first before just spilling. They just like, well, shoes, I got paid. Well, that mean I got money. No, you got bills.
Right.
Bills say snatch. This bills time to snatch what you got. But I mean, some of it can be trust issues. A lot of people, uh, that's usually always brought out if you go to marriage counseling and all of that. That's usually one of the big things that come out, and that used to be what can break a marriage, and sometimes it still is. That finances is something that can make or break a marriage. Um, and it just all depends on how they work it, what the arrangement is, and if they both agree to it. If they
Right.
both agree to it and it worked for them, shoes, it worked for them.
Yeah.
It worked for them.
Yeah. And that's. Hmm. I mean, and that's because some people. I mean, man, it's a lot to it because again, like my wife was saying, dude, it's either you could either say, hey man, I don't trust this guy because of what he did. He got into some problems or whatever. But I think it is a trust issue, and you can when you join when you join your accounts together, you can bring in a lot more money uh, instead of being separate. And some people can do that, but some just can't. Some people are just, hey, it's my money. I earn my money, and I'm gonna do with my money. Some people are like that, and some people are just like, hey, well, I'll be able to join with you. Let's discuss this. Let's do that. And I just believe that, to me, it'll be better to combine. Um, your bank account and everything like that. That way you can pay your bills and everything like that, because again, you're married, but some people prefer to have separate accounts, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's an issue, but it depends on the person's heart, and it depends on the person experience with the other person. um I'm trying to read what
Mhm.
it was. Another question that she had said. She said, wouldn't that be a trust issue? You already answered that. Yes, if all the money is combined, you will have more money, right? Yeah, and again, yes, you would make sense to have more money when it's combined, but a lot of people don't think that way. A lot of people say it's my money, I made it, and it's
But
it's
it still is not necessarily Because if you're making whatever amount, whether it's going into one account or going into separate, if both of you are utilizing it, utilizing those accounts, it's still the same amount of money, unless one, like I said, got more of a spending issue than the other one.
Well, that's the thing.
And then
That's it. But see, I think what Rachel talking about is separate bank accounts. Mean this is my bank card and you have your own bank card. I'm not sharing
someone
my.
like
There's
that.
some people. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like that's what
someone
she's
like
saying.
that.
It's like
But
nah.
like they say that some of them know that they split to say, okay, well, this is set up with this and that and that. And then this one might say, well, this one's set up with this. Well, you pay this and I pay this type thing. It's a couple of people that's been married for years that I know that have that.
Yeah.
That they have separate accounts like that. But it works for them.
It works.
And it's not to necessarily say that it's trust issues. For them, they look at it as, okay, let's make sure, well, if this one knows how to manage this one, or this one has the good with remembering to pay this, to pay that, or this one take care of this one take care of that. But then, if the other one needs something, or one account needs the other, then they'll do
But then
whatever.
but that don't make sense though, babe. I mean, like, dude,
I'm just saying. That's just something I do that.
But I mean, no, dude. I mean, it's like, but still, you just have one account.
But if you don't want to do that.
Exactly. Some people don't want to do that because, again, the only reason why I say they don't want to do that because it's my money. That's how people think. If you saying that I don't want to join an account with you, it's the reason for that is it's my money, and I want to do what I want to do with my money, and I don't want you to touch my money. That's
not
it.
Everybody. That's why I said if it's agreed upon, if it's an agreed thing, that depending on what their reasoning for it is, it's nothing wrong with doing it. It might not be a bad thing for them. It might be what works for them, that type of setup, depending on what it is. Now, if you
well, so if I need gas and I ran low on my account, and I say, oh, can I borrow your card real quick to go get some gas? I only spend on gas because that's it. I plans for my own money.
What I'm saying is that, yeah, if that's your mindset to say, well, this is mine and no, you can't touch it unless you ask me. Yeah, that's different.
That's what she's talking. That's what she's talking about.
But I'm saying some people do still have those separate accounts, and it just works for them. That's just how they setup is, and that's not the reason.
Well, they may have
separate. It's not the reason.
But they may have.
You can't touch it.
But they may have separate accounts, but they both have a card. Like, let's say we set up an account for the bills, then that's for the bills. If we set up an account for bills or in a savings, then it's the bills and the savings. Where we both have cards. I believe what Rachel is saying is that, I have my own bank account and you have your own bank account, and it ain't nothing connected with it. I ain't paying. It's my money. I think that's what she was meaning, because you are right. Like, some people they'll have separate accounts, but I mean, dude, when you look at it, there has to be very little to no trust issues with that, because, again, bro, it's like y'all married. And it's like, hey, man, look, we both bring finances into the home, both, in the same. And like, I think Nene was the one that said it. It also gives them an opportunity to be sneaky. You don't want me to know what you spending or who you spending on. What you need secrecy for, but why you need your own account? Oh, just in case I go get my stuff done and blah, 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 blah. Like, come on, man. Like, no, you still want to live your life and do what you want to do. Especially if the dude is good, or vice versa. If the woman is good,
I feel like it depends on the reasoning, though, because, like I said, somebody might have an arrangement that, okay, I'm using your account as all the bills. That way we know all of that is taken care of.
Okay,
and then this over here, okay, we got that. But like you said, it depends on what their reasoning behind it is.
Okay.
If their reasoning behind it is, it's my money, I made the money, I'm the one going to work every day to earn it, then okay, I get that. I feel you. I agree. But if it's just, okay, well, let's make this type of account. They have two different separate accounts. Let's make that account. You handle all of this. You handle all the important stuff, the bills, all this stuff. But you use this for the home.
So let me ask you this: the way you're discussing it, both people should have access to both accounts, right?
They should.
That's okay. So that's what you're talking about. So that
But
makes
like I said,
sense.
still depending on what the reason behind it is.
But that
Excuse
makes
me.
sense. But for a person to be married and I don't have access to the account that you hold,
If you're that's what I'm saying. If
that's
you say
being
that you can't, that your if you're saying that yours, that's what I say. I don't agree with that. You can't say that. I mean, somebody saying that this is my money, I made it, so I spend my money how I want to.
that's how the females. Well,
I know.
that's how some of them think, bro. I didn't mean to say it like that.
I know
But
some of them think
some of
like
them think
that,
like
but
that,
I'm
bro.
just
Like, no, your money is my money. I get to have your account number, but my money is my money, and you can't have my account number.
that's what I'm just saying. Generally,
Like, wait a
though,
minute,
that
hold on,
somebody who
bro.
might have, if a married couple does have two separate accounts, whatever y'all, if it works for you, it works for you. If you got that attitude that uh this mine that you can't touch this, I'm the one that brought it in, then yeah, that's not right. Excuse me, that's not right. But if that other person did with it, well, you do what you do because
Yeah,
that's your household. That ain't mine.
that ain't mine. Yeah, that's
Y'all do what y'all do.
yeah,
But she
that's me.
always gonna have. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, no, I hear you, man, and yeah, it just okay. It says, where was I?
She said, Nita was saying that it gives that also gives them an opportunity to be sneaky, also being in control as well. Then Rachel says, okay. Well, my
Oh,
next question is, do you share your phone texts and stuff with your significant other? If not, will you ever? If you have, how do you feel? You're just letting them look at it? Oh, well, I don't see what's wrong with it. What? Oh, you still reading?
no. I'm trying to.
Oh, so you don't want to answer that one yet?
No.
I was just going in order of the comments. Okay, so then we agree. So it brought
Look,
to the same to the question of the accounts. Then it was to say that my Bible was saying we agreed to have separate accounts. We also do things as a whole. That's what I'm saying. So if it works for them, if it works for somebody that type of setup, then I mean that's what they do. There's apparently, I mean, there's several people that's like that.
yeah,
And
I ain't
it's
knocking.
almost seem odd in a way sometimes, but it like I said, it depends on what their reasoning
No,
behind it
I'm
is.
not. I'm not knocking, bro.
And
I'm just
Rachel
saying
said
if you
yes,
have a
exactly that. Exactly, TJ. That yep, it's given prenup though. Uh, and then you need. I have heard some reason. I have heard some reason. Most reason are in their money. Oh, that is their money. I'm sorry, I said in their money. That is their money. This we had two separate accounts, but we shared both accounts.
yeah. I mean,
See, that's what
it
it
makes
depending
yeah.
on
It's
what
just how
your
you got it
setup
set
and
up. And
why.
I look, whatever works for you, it works.
Because I've had there are some
If
people
you wanna,
that I've heard that they have one joint account, and then they still have their two separate
separate,
ones.
that makes sense because either or can save or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, look, it is what it is. If I open up an account, my wife's name gonna be on the other side of it. But matter of fact,
Hey, I thought keeping up with all that.
my name you have your own personal savings account.
No, I don't.
Dude, the bank that banks the truck.
Oh, that's because you had to open that. That's
Right.
something that they do when
But I'm just saying,
you do the because it's a credit union, which most people might not know. Is that credit union when you get financed through a credit union, they'll open up you an account
mm-hmm.
of, and it's be like $5 that they'll open it. They don't charge you; they just put $5 in it just to have an account open because of however they do their payment. That it has to be shown as an account, and that's how they use it or whatever. So they just and then they try to get you to get the checking, but otherwise they just give you a savings just to create you an account to say that you have an account with them. But that's how the one that we use for that is set up is that they create you a savings account or whatever. But I don't just like put money in it like that.
Right.
So it ain't nothing in it. It might be a couple of dollars, but it ain't nothing in it. But yeah, that's what I said. Depending on how the setup is, because with that, and matter of fact, you on that. Now that I think about it, you on that. You just don't know how to get onto it.
No, because I never got the information.
I gave you the info.
No, I don't. I ain't never get no info.
Oh Lord.
Trust me, this black
I
man.
told you what your thing is because it's ours is the same. You just don't remember. When we first got that truck, I gave you all that information when it came.
You
But you
probably
don't know how to
did.
use, you don't know how to use
You
it.
probably did. No, I do not. I don't even.
You don't know how to use it. But it ain't nothing to use it for anyway, but just to pay the truck note.
That's it.
But it just had to have an account to do they do that so you can have an account so you can transfer from one if you don't have a checking account with them. So when it's a credit union, they do that so you can be able to transfer from one bank account to another account.
Oh, okay.
So that's how they do their transfers when you're trying to do something like that instead of having to call them and pay over the phone all the time, or because otherwise you got to do a transfer, a bank to bank transfer. Otherwise, you can't just do a card payment like that. So it all depends on how they have it set up. But yeah.
So moving on to that, I told you that question was a big one. That question she asked, it was gonna be pretty big. But they talking about the text.
Oh, the question go back up was okay. Well, next because we didn't answer that one. Are you looking at the last one?
No, this one,
Go back up
Rachel's.
to
So Rachel's was okay. Well, my text question is
the
next question is: do you share your phone, text, and stuff with your SO? If not, will you ever? If you have, how do you feel? And I mean, I don't keep nothing. Karla.
So we got each other.
I mean, yeah. I don't.
Excuse me. We got each other. Thing password.
Oh
yeah. For the phone.
Yeah. I know her password. She know mine. So if you want to get in, you know what to do. You know how you know what to do, man. If you don't if you don't believe who I'm texting or whatever, go ahead and put the code in and you find out what's going on.
Yeah, if for some reason you act like you can't share a conversation that you've had or have had or having with somebody with your significant other, then something wrong.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Unless the only way unless is that what you still should be trying to work it out with them, unless you're actually seeking help with something with the issue. But if you act like you can't and y'all trying to work it out because y'all ain't on the same page right now, so I can but still that could still be cause an issue too. But it just all depends. But if you feel that for some reason you can't share your passcode or share text or say, hey, it's several times that a couple of times that either I forgot my phone or didn't know what mine was, and then he was like, here, just take mine because I was leaving the house or something. So it's good if you can't do stuff like that. Something wrong. If you can't do something like that, something wrong.
Yeah, I don't. Man,
unless I'm trying to plan something, then he can't be all up in my phone and in my texts. If I'm trying to plan something for him that he ain't supposed to know about, then no, he can't see it.
But
outside of that, it don't matter.
I get, and then I've gotten to the point because I ain't gonna lie. When we first got married, I wanted to know who was calling texting all the time. And I'm like, who are you texting? Who is this nigga? Like, who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? Please me for saying the N word. But like, who is this dude? You know, and it's like,
listen.
But over time, Carla was like, oh, I'm texting so and so or whatever and stuff. But I don't. I guess for me, I don't ask that question because I find myself, busy and doing stuff. And I mean, Carla tell me who she talking to, or whoever texts or whatever, what's going on, or even if somebody on a job texting, like she'll tell me. And I just sit and listen, but we don't, as far as it ain't no point to hide, bro. There ain't no point to hide. I mean, me personally, bro, I don't get females' numbers no more. I don't do that. I'm just like, hey man, if I talk to you, I see you. Now I may have some coworker numbers in my phone, like Savannah, Yesenia, people like that. But as far as like, trying to get numbers so I can have different conversations, like that's come on, bro. You got a wife.
First of all, I don't go nowhere.
Do
No,
I don't got time for that, bro.
but
Like,
yeah,
I don't got time for the drama. I don't got
no.
time for the temptation. I don't have time for that, bro. I just like, dude, no. If you ain't married, if you're not married, I'm not finna get with it. I'm not finna do that.
But even if you are married,
I still wouldn't get with it.
You, if you're married and I know you, or I mean, if I know the opposite sex. So if it's a couple, y'all married, but I'm friends with the guy and not really the wife, then that's a problem if I'm not trying to get to know her.
Okay.
If I'm not trying to or at least say or even ask about her. If I ain't even asking about her, that's a problem. Because that means you don't respect that union. You don't respect them. And even if they wasn't even married, even if it was just they girlfriend, they boo thing or whatever. If you can't, because I understand that sometimes yes, the ladies have guy friends and all this, and guys have female friends. I get it, but still, it ain't that I should not have more of a conversation with somebody outside of my marriage more than my spouse.
Right. That's true. You should not be having long drawn out conversations with somebody else other than with your spouse. That's yeah. But yeah, texting, we don't I don't have no problem. We don't have no problems with that, man. That's just So we're gonna move on to the next question. It's from Brandon Glover. It says, TJ, please share, how do you keep the fire, passion, and love ongoing in a marriage?
You gotta be intentional, but he did ask you to go ahead.
Yeah. But no, that's for both of us.
No, you have to be intentional with making time for each other, doing little things that you know that brings happiness to the other one. Whether it's okay, you stop on your way home and pick up a Mr. Good bar and a Coke. If that's something that she likes, or if you send her flowers once a week or whatever. I don't like flowers, but if that's something that you have to do to be intentional about keeping the relationship moving and not getting stagnated. Don't get comfortable in the fact, okay, that I'm married now, then that's it.
Yeah.
And we've been there. So you can't get stuck in that, because when you do, you get consumed by the things that you just work routine. You get consumed by well, I'm just used to this, but so we good. I'm already locked down, so we good. I ain't looking for but y'all gotta still show affection. Y'all gotta still show love. Y'all gotta still communicate. Y'all gotta still go places. How people say know the person's love languages. Whether it's I don't know what all the categories are, but I think it's like 4 or 5 different love languages or something, whatever, as they say. Whether it's her hearing you say you look nice today. But be intentional about making sure that at some point, somehow, daily, you all give each other attention.
Yeah.
Whether it's even if y'all just sitting in there, because for a while, and sometimes we still do this. Every once in a while, if while he playing games, I might just sit there with, but we in the same room, so that's okay. That's something that we good with. We in the same room, so we're good. Or uh uh we'll call each other when we on our way home. Not to say that you don't trust me. No, it's just to say, hey, it's just me and you talking to see how your day went.
Yeah.
Asking each other how they be intentional about trying to go somewhere. Because Lord, I promise you it's necessary. Especially when kids get involved. When kids get involved, when kids come on the scene. You gotta
kids will block.
You gotta be intentional about everyone. That's why a lot of couples say that they have date nights. Do date nights.
Do date nights, man.
Keep dating. Just because you married, don't just keep dating. And and he did one year for me. Actually, one year for my birthday, um, he got me a hotel room, just me. Bought me an outfit, had the outfit laid out on the bed when I got in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just said, here, just go take a moment. I mean, take a day. And then we linked up the next day and we went to Memorial City Mall and just went shopping or went walking around. I think we walked around mostly. We walked around the
Mm-hmm.
mall because he already had the outfit, so I really didn't have to buy nothing. But stuff like that, being intentional about spending time with each other, doing things for the other, even if it's something small, because those small things they add up and they're remembered the most a lot of times
Right.
over the big stuff. Um, so just you gotta keep and then do stuff spontaneous sometimes. And when you don't have children, if you can just up and just go somewhere, just up and just go take a day or a weekend trip real quick to San Antonio or Dallas or Galveston or whatever, go someplace where you can just up and just go for a little bit, if that's the type of things that y'all like.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's not, try to introduce something new or something different that you can learn to like together. Because he might like one thing, I might like one thing. But let's find something we know what each other like, but
Right.
let's find something new to like together, to
Right.
experience together.
And I want to say this too, because I understand sometimes in marriages, life can get in the way.
That too.
Your work schedules are, and I know, Brandon, you're in the process of, getting your own crib right now. But sometimes those stressful things can cause you not to want to be romantic.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can, and this is true, and we've been there. Sometimes you can be in a dry place. I'm tired, man. I just got to work. Now I got to deal with this. I just want to go to sleep, you know. But then that's where scheduling comes in, because even though I remember when before we got this house, man, we were staying at my auntie's house on my wife's side in our apartment. We ain't have no time alone. The kids slept in the bedroom. We had to sleep in there with the kids.
That was 2 weeks, two and a half weeks. That was the longest
Man,
two and a half weeks
man,
ever.
and then too, we was already stressed out about
Lord.
the credit cards and we were stressed out about the credit cards and all this other stuff that's going on and everything. And we stuck through it. And as soon as we got the house, it was a relief, but it was still some stuff that we had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And we went through it. And I just want to say that because marriage is not gonna be dandelions and beautiful flowers in the field.
Running through a field holding hands.
It's not gonna be like that every day, bro. It's not.
Lord.
But however, like even if y'all have a time, like right now, y'all don't have kids. So it's like it'll be a wonderful time to get out there or, to say, hey, I'm going to take her here. Tonight we're going to walk around, do this, do that. We're going to start talking, and communicating is a big part.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to her. If you feel a certain way, share that with her. If you feel a certain way, but don't share it as like you blaming her how the way you feel. No, you share it in the sense of saying, baby, this is how I feel right now, and I want us to start doing X, Y, and Z and ABC, and everything like that. Just let her know how you feel, and then she should be able to be in a place to where she can relate. She'll be like, okay, and then if she don't relate, just kind of help her understand on the soft side, soft side of things. But there will be times to where both of y'all are busy, and and there will be times to where you can't plan a date night because money is tight. That's another thing.
But there are
But
ways.
there
Be
are times, but
creative.
be creative.
Be creative.
You can like I said, you can take walks, you can watch a movie. You got apps. You watch a movie. If you got popcorn, pop some popcorn. Say, hey man, we're gonna spend some time in the living room tonight or whatever.
We've done that a couple of times. We've had just random when we were in our apartments and stuff. We had just random night that while I was in the room, not even know what he was doing. He had something, a blanket laid out, and a candle, and the little Welch's sparkling stuff, and some fruit or whatever. And we're just sitting there, whatever, watching a movie. It's little things that you can do that it's more so it's the time that you're spending and the memories you're creating
Mm-hmm.
is what helps. Because
Right.
if you stop creating memories and stop creating experiences, then it's gonna die.
Right.
It's gonna die. That's why I say you got to be intentional about making sure that you all do something that's for each other, that is showing love, that's showing appreciation, um, and that it's just about y'all. It ain't about nobody else. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
about nothing else, but it's just about
It's
y'all. You
it's
got
not
to be.
about it's not about the house you're trying to get. It's not about the bills. It's not about what you, because I know you doing a lot, bro. I know, and I also know you. I know what you're going through, but sometimes you just gotta put that studying. Sometimes you gotta put all that stuff to the side and say, you know what, this night I'm gonna make this night to where it's about us. Because I know what I'm doing, and all I'm right now, man. I'm studying for this test that I got to take. My wife, she doing what she got to do, and like I said, sometimes in a marriage, it gets like that. Sometimes it gets like that to where all you're doing is trying to work to get better. But in the midst of doing that, sometimes you gotta stop for a second.
Yeah, I'm about to take time and
You got to
breathe.
take time and breathe
Take time
for
and
each
breathe.
other, because what's going to end up happening is that you're gonna be busy, so busy trying to push what you're trying to do, to where your love and your passion end up dwindling away, and then you end up forgetting about it, and everything will become about your work and school and education. You got to know how to sit that stuff. Even God understands that. That's why the Songs of Solomon is in the Bible, because he understands that the gospel is not just only about Jesus, but I celebrate marriage and the things that happen in marriage. I celebrate it all. And Solomon expressed how he loved this woman and what he saw in her body.
So that got you to wanting to preach.
It was approved by God. It was in the Bible. It is approved. No, but I'm serious. But no, I'm
No,
serious.
but that's
But
it.
that,
You gotta take
but
a.
that's why. But I'm telling y'all, that's why I say sometimes we got to know who God is, though, for real. Because God allowed that to be in the Word. That means that, hey, man, you got to set some time aside. Everything
You have to and get away.
You got to get away
And get away,
Yeah.
because as even and we've mentioned it before, that even in the Bible, that even Jesus took a moment and got away.
Yeah.
He separated from the disciples a few times and got away, just to breathe, to regroup, to rest, to regenerate. And so you have to be able. Some I know it's one couple, like they pick one day out of the week that they, because of however it's so maybe so busy or whatever, they pick one day out of the week. This is that day that we just gonna talk about this.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's it. We're just gonna talk about it. Yeah.
All the other days that we're not talking about that. No, unless it's a pressing issue, then okay. But set a time, set aside, be intentional about setting aside moments and times that is just y'all two. That you're breathing. Uh, and do that, because if not, like you said, it can die and you can get lost. I'm trying to go back up to him because I saw these laughing faces.
But no, yeah, I mean, but no, I'm laughing at what Nene said. But because but she's true. But that's what Solomon said.
I'm trying to catch up, y'all all on them. Those comments was going quick. Okay. Wait. I'm about to miss up.
You went all the way down.
No, I didn't. I was trying to do this. Okay. Okay, so Rachel said, going back up, like, make sure you bring the fire if the other doesn't. Don't look for it to come from only one side. Sometimes you have to peel that layer back to be exposed for them to become passionate. I thought he was gonna say something.
No.
I thought he was gonna say that's true
It
because
is
he
true.
was
Yeah.
he was more so and still probably is. Well, maybe not. Yeah, he's still more so. Um, what's the term? I guess romantic than I am.
Oh yeah.
All right. With your soul, dude. But yeah. I did. Well, it says date night or just holding hands on a walk, watch wrestling, even if you don't like them. Usa and Roman Reigns. I don't know what that is. Uh, you need to say be aware of your spouse up and downs and be there emotionally and mentally. True. You got to make sure you don't forget um about each other. Recognize. Still know, even though you got a lot going on, there's a lot going on. Even though you got a
You know
lot
I gotta
going
do
on.
that. Don't be hating, dog.
Really? Even though it's a lot going on, is don't forget about don't get so caught up and lost in what you're dealing with and what's going on that you forget about each other. Uh, she said, Rachel said, falling out of love is a big issue with something way more than fire and passion. You have to ignite the fire, be the match, and strike the mark. Uh, I want to keep the desire lit. So I just don't have anyone to watch my kids. uh, Listen, give me a weekend. Give me a weekend. Give me a weekend. Well, they can scoop over and then join in with the rest of them.
They could.
Uh, so if it's not, if she's not feeling you, get in her interest. Help her become one with her. Help her become vulnerable to where she's all you desire.
Yeah, but I like his comment. What
I
he said
said
was, he said,
you
yes,
just
it's,
need a planned occasion.
but
Uh,
he replied and said, yes, it's difficult and trying to multitask, and
that's
that's
what
what
I
I
was
was
getting
saying.
to. Okay.
Yes, and that's what I was saying because I know what he's dealing with right now, and it's like I get that, bro. And it's like you just have to put that training, that class, put that to the side, put that house and everything what y'all dealing with that, put that to the side, and say, baby, it's gonna be about us tonight.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
you have
something
to
you got to
do.
be intentional
But
about just
you
doing
have
it.
to
And you have to
make
do
that
it.
decision as
Yeah.
the head of the household, as the man. You have to make that decision, and then she's gonna follow. She's gonna follow because if you feel that way, she feels that way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she knows that you're trying to do X, Y, and Z. But let me tell you something about a good woman. A good woman is going to respect a man when she knows that he's trying to get better in life.
Yep.
So if he's in the office all day cooking, and when I mean cooking, I'm talking about creating stuff, trying to do his work, trying to study, she's going to respect that, and she may feel some type of way, but she's not gonna say nothing because she respects the fact of what you're trying to do.
She just going through the
She's just going
motions.
through the motions.
She gonna have to go. She's gonna go through the motions.
Now, since you feel that way, now you have an opportunity to say, you know what, on this schedule, because we're not gonna meet with no friends. But get the friends out of the way. Mm-hmm. We're not doing nothing. This is date night for us. We're gonna take pictures. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And it's easier for y'all because, like I said, y'all don't have kids yet. I know it's gonna be little Brandons running around. Some little Brandons, but but no, it's that's all you got to do, bro. And I mean, right now, like I say, it's easy for y'all because y'all can make a schedule to where when she's off or you off, and then just push it. And you'll have to make a sacrifice. And when you do it, to say, hey, I'm
and
not
then
gonna
if
study
for
today.
some reason that y'all just stuff don't line up so easily as far as with the schedules, y'all make an agreement. That on this date we taking off. This date we're gonna go do this.
Do this.
And do it.
Yep.
And stick with it. Because it'll be much needed. Both of y'all will feel released. You'll feel rejuvenated to keep going.
Right.
So because you paused and took a break, that and to refocus, that gave you time to give you that extra push and that extra energy you need to keep going so y'all can reach the goals that you're going for.
I'm telling y'all, it'll work, bro. So you got this, bro. You already know.
Look, I want to give him or her a bath with the candles, with a candle. A nice bottle of wine, smooth jazz playing in the background. I mean, little stuff like that, just resting, just giving them a. She said, "Oh, this girl here, Jesus." She said,
I told you, bro. That's why I was.
"I didn't see what you was pointing at because everything was still going."
Yeah, that's the Book of
Right. That's
Solomon,
it.
bro.
What was we? It was something we was. Did you say that on the last one that you had saw
I
that?
said that at the wedding, and people was trying to look at me like I want to get freaking dog.
No, it was something that I thought we saw on a video or something that you said that, and I said, "Oh, it was yes, it was something you was watching." I said that was the only part you heard was when he said that part about that. It was some video we was watching. It was a husband and wife, yeah, and that's what it was. It was a husband and wife, and they were. It was almost on the same topic on the same question, and he said that, and he was talking about Solomon and bringing that up and quoted that, and you heard that. I said that's the only part you heard out of that whole video. Uh, Everybody says don't lose the ability to make your spouse desire you at all times. Uh, everybody, oh, it needs to be on either Sarah. Oh, I guess she's talking about the kids, somebody to watch the kids.
Okay, so hold on, we got to go back up because I know. I think.
There was one more question I was trying to get with all of the ones for this question. How do you? Okay, so before we get to Sarah's question, she just posted. There was one that
My mom had
Gwen's
posted. I'm
lifestyle
trying
post.
to.
She said, "How do you know if a man that is a Christian is a legit Christian and what he's saying about himself?"
Well, first, it's going to take time. And what I mean by time is you're not going to automatically tell right off the bat if you know how his lifestyle is. You can't make that judgment call. If you are willing to, now for one, we all have the Holy Spirit within us, and God will give you some hints. Be like, hold on, man, this dude a little bit shady now. But to get to know somebody in their walk with God, you have to talk to them for a bit and just see, and there, you know somebody from what the fruits that they give. So the way that they're talking and the way they say things, what they believe in, you just have to ask the right questions, honestly. If you want to know about him, ask the right questions. If he divert from the question, then okay, he have something that he's doing that's not legal. So at the same time, what you just have to know that it's just like, hey man, I'm asking, how you feel about this, how you feel, get a feel of where he is and where he is in his life. And just talk to him for a while. Now you can't have an attitude and you can't have a wall, or you can't have your defense shield up. Now, if you have your defense shield up, a man can easily tell when you're defensive. I'm just saying. So you have to make sure that you are in a place of I'm ready to try again. And so because I'm ready to try again, I'm ready to hear what this gentleman have to say because I believe he's a gentleman. But now I'm going to ask some questions. That's how you find out how a man is. When you ask the right type of questions to this man, that's how you find out if he's a real man of God or not. You just got to ask the right questions. That's it, And even if you got to, dog him down a little bit with the questions, he'll be like, "Man, you just full of questions, ain't you?" But if he really like you,
and is,
and then he's gonna understand, what it means. But that's how you find out about a man, dude. Seriously, you got to just straight up, ask those questions, and from the answers that he give, that's how you'll find out who he is. There's no such thing as no first look, and I knew, and no. You have to just find out who he is. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, it ain't none of that, man. You just have to find out who he is by asking questions. Seriously. And like I said, if he's being deflective, or if he's trying to hide, stuff who he is and stuff like that, man, then he ain't the right guy. Because again, what are you hiding for? Don't hide. We all brothers and sisters in Christ. So, but that's what I have on that. You have anything on that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, I just put it out there. So, the next question is, how do you reach your highest potential while trying to focus on making sure your children are excelling and making sure your partner is happy? How do you pay attention to your goals? That's a 3-part question. Because it says, how do you reach your highest potential? That's personal. While trying to make sure your children are
Well, as far
trying
as
to.
reaching your highest potential,
No. That's yeah. But your meaning, how do you reach
I
your yeah?
know. But as far as a person reaching their highest potential, is that
Oh,
it's an ongoing process.
right.
That's ongoing. You're not gonna just bam, just reach your highest one day and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
When you do that, that means you've stopped learning. You
Right.
stop being open to learning, I should say. You stop being open to learning. Um, and you're not trying to make yourself better anymore. You feel you good. Um, when that could be having that type of mindset could be a hindrance. Um, and reason why I say that is because we people of God. God made us in the image of His likeness, and if our God is so big and great, He put greatness within us.
Right.
So we can, what we might think is our highest potential, it might not be. We got room for more.
Right.
We got room to keep going. We got room to keep growing. But it's a process. It don't happen overnight. It don't. Sometimes it might take a couple of years. It might take several. You just never. It's as every most comments are coming across, one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's one day at a time, and set time apart for focusing on you. Set time apart for focusing on your spouse. Set time apart for focusing on your children, and it's manageable. And just because you focus on you doesn't mean that you're putting you first. It just means that you haven't forgotten about you.
So basically, what she's saying is that you haven't forgotten about your goals. So your goals still exist, but it's just your children and your husband are there in the mix of you excelling. Watch this, because
Mm-hmm.
God is not going to allow you to forget that you are growing to reach your highest potential before the coming of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way that you will forget that is if you put that in your mind that I'm gonna put all my energy into my kids and I'm gonna put all my energy into my husband and I'm gonna just throw everything what I want to do to the side. And that's not what God wants us to do. Because what we have to remember, even though I want the best education for my kids, what I've learned is my kids have their own brain. My kids have their own heart. So even though I want the highest education, they also have to push for their own goals
They
as
gotta
well.
want it, yeah.
They have to want it for themselves. And then your husband, now, even though we set aside and say, you know what, man, I'm gonna make sure my husband is happy, you know. Now, the husband is supposed to make sure that your husband is supposed to make sure that he is relying on the joy of the Lord to do what he's supposed to do, to allow you to say, you know what, my husband is good. Let me work on this.
Yeah, it'll take
So
a season
it'll take
sometimes.
some, but
And
yeah,
because
sometimes
it'll take a season sometimes that it might just be okay, well, for this time frame, let you focus on, let's work on your goal together.
right.
And then well for this, and then by us working on their goals, like okay, when TJ first wrote his book, when he was writing his book,
Mm-hmm.
there was several months that he would be in the office all day, or he'll be on the computer all day writing his book,
Right.
or needing to edit it. So I had to even go into that question about the goals with Brandon. that I had to remember to give him his space. This is my way of helping him
Right.
reach his goal, is by let me take care of the kids, let me take care of everything else, while you use those 4, 5, 6 hours to focus on just the book.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, and it's sometimes it's like that okay, let's shift for this month, and let's do it for, for you. And then next month let's do it on my turn, because this is what timeline I need, or this is what timeline you might need. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you do it that way, to make it easier. If you guys can't, um uh if there's something, depending on what it is, of you working it hand in hand or simultaneously at the same time, with focusing on those areas. There was, for those who might know, what's her name, Tabitha Brown, or she goes by Auntie Tab, or as she like to say, that sometimes, that's what they set a goal, that, hey, in 5 years, I'm gonna have this is what I'm working towards.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, bam, it's all about you.
Right.
And but they did it together.
Right.
So, and now, he's doing, her husband's doing whatever he needed to do. He had got, took a job as an officer just because he know they needed the money. So he became a police officer. But she kept telling him, I know you don't like this. I know it's the sacrifices. I know it's hard and all of this stuff. But they did that. They worked it together. She did what she needed to do to help build her brand, her image of what she was doing with the with all of the stuff she was doing, her inspirational videos, her the books, the cooking, and all of that. As she did that, he helped support her,
Right.
behind the scenes. And then once they got to that mark, and wherever they was at, and that it happened, or once it happened for her, it happened for the both of them. Even though
Mm-hmm.
it seemed like she was in the limelight, maybe, but she didn't forget about her husband.
Right.
She brought them together. Then now, okay, bam, he's retired. He doing what he want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So they're focusing on. I mean, they still focused on them, but sometimes it's like that it might shift. That you might have to push one more than the other
Yeah.
at a time. But that don't mean that it's still that you forgot about, that your goals are forgotten about.
Right. That's yeah. Yeah. That's what.
Because
Yeah.
even with me and him, with like with the podcast, with him even start this, I kept up, do it, go ahead. And then when I started to do the jury, he started trying to support me. We share in the office. We share the office, so we made it, give and take. We made sure we didn't spend too much time engulfed in one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That, okay, we made sure your stuff got worked on, made sure my stuff got worked on. We made sure we're gonna work on what we're working on together. So you got, it's pacing yourself, remembering you matter too. And just because you take a moment for you does not mean that that you forgot about everybody else.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you forgot about your spouse. Doesn't mean that you forgot about the kids. Um, and just knowing that everything is a process and it takes time.
Yeah, because you can't stop what you're doing. You have to continue to do what you do, and that's what I say on the men's behalf. Even when my wife did that, when she did her final touch jewels, I said okay, and she did what she was supposed to do. I had some ideas or whatever, but I said, you know what, we're gonna make this work, and we're gonna do it. And the thing about it is as a man, what I've learned is that, and this is coming from a man's perspective. I've learned that I know my wife. She gonna do whatever. I know how my wife is, and my wife is gonna do whatever she's gonna do. Like she got a barbecue pit for me for Father's Day, and I wasn't expecting that. You know, stuff like that. Okay, yeah, that shows me. Okay, yeah, appreciative. Thank you. However, you know, the next day, she work at 12 or whatever, stuff like that. And I try to make sure I do what I can if I'm not tired or whatever to do what I can for. But as a man, you know, at certain times, yes, you know, I want to make sure, hey, just let me know what I'm doing is good. Let me know when I'm doing is right. Let me know if I'm out of order. Let me know if I'm, doing good. Um, but as a man, I don't look for things from Karla. I really don't. However, she still, she still blesses and everything like that. But I don't look for stuff from her because at the end of the day, Karla has told me her goals of what she want to do, and I pray to God that she reaches her goals. Because I want her to be successful as well. So vice versa, both sides should be thinking that way.
Mhm.
That way, it wouldn't, like, if Karla was to say, right now, I think she has to go away for a week in August. This is something to help her progress on her job. And Karla called me and say, "Hey man, you okay with me? I'm gonna be gone for a week." And I thought about it, I said, "Dang man, why can we go?" I said, "You know what? No, this is for her to grow at the job she's at. So she's gonna be gone for a week in August." But the thing what I had to understand was that this is for my wife to grow. So for us as husbands, we have to make sure we understand that, hey, just like she said, I'm gonna be there for you when you need my support. If I gotta go do this, or if I have to be ghost for a while, that's fine. I'm gonna support you because it's gonna benefit you and the husband in the long run. So it's like we have to make sure that we're not. I make sure that I'm not overthinking to say, because sometimes I used to overthink. I used to be overthinking everything I do, and it's like, no, dude, don't do that. Number one, your wife knows that you love her. That's the thing. She knows that. She's aware of that. I remember one time Carla was like, "Man, look, I know you love me already. Don't. This is I know that already. I know you love me already. I do all that, but." I know you said that, but seriously, because I was that person that I had to make sure that everybody was good. But God was saying, TJ, I need you to focus. I need you to focus on my word. I need you to focus on putting this together. I need to focus on putting that together. And like my wife said, sometimes I go on the streets where I'm just doing things and everything like that. But then I'm like, you know what, man? I need to take a break, stop. And like I was telling Brandon earlier, that hey man, we don't go out this day. And we're gonna do this time of day. So it's really how we support each other and everything like that. To answer that question, because that was a 3-part question. Like I said, with your kids, as long as your kids are desirable to wanting to be what you put in them, and whatever, because your kid, one thing about your kids, they always want to make sure that their parents are happy about them. They want to make sure that your children are always going to make sure that, man, mommy, did I do a good job? Mommy, uh did I do a good job? Did I do this? Did I do that? Or whatever. They want to make sure they got the A's and the B's because of your expectations. Your kids want to meet those expectations. Am I talking? They want to meet those expectations. So as long as you put that in them, don't worry about that. Their excellence is going to show what you teach them. So the thing about this is that your husband is in a good spot. Your kids are in a good spot. The thing about this is just don't forget about yourself. That's the thing in marriage that we all have to come to an understanding. Sometimes we might need that space. Sometimes the husband might have to support the wife to get where she needs to get to. And watch this. Some of your friends or some people might disagree with that. Nah, man, no, don't do that. Nah, man, no, because James the head, man. You know what I'm saying? Let him do it. You the woman, and you the no. Forget that. Whatever you and James agree on, that's what you and James agree on, and then y'all, go forward in that area. In that sense, don't worry about what nobody else say. Whatever y'all agree on, however y'all have that agreement, then you do that and you do it that way. Because one thing you don't want to do is put everybody in your home um above something that you want or desire to do, and you don't work on it for a long time, because what that can do, even though you're making sure everybody else is okay,
You're gonna lose
you're
yourself.
gonna lose yourself, and then too,
Been there, done that.
it can cause depression.
Been there, done
And so
that.
you don't want to do that, man. You really don't, and you really don't. So, but you good. And then it says, she said, I just want to make sure I'm giving them my best, and you do. Just know that you're giving your best now.
Mm-hmm.
You give them your best now. That's what you do. You give them your best. And Yanita's life journey said that I have learned life is predictable. You will never know what tomorrow will be. Each goal might be short term, and some goals are long term. It will be reached because you will see the results. Rachel says, but I think she means like in a day, each day, how to do goals, place kids in excellence, and make your partner feel appreciated altogether. Um, and then Nini said I turned 43 when I went back to work. I it, it's never too late, but I know how you feel. I've been there. He's supportive of everything I do. I just feel guilty if I'm taking time for myself sometimes, even with my children. Man, don't feel
You
man
can't
that you can't. Look,
because it's
bro, that man, it's necessary,
necessary.
bro. Like,
It's
hey,
necessary because
man,
you won't be able to continue to show up for the kids and for your spouse if you don't take time for yourself.
got to
Because that's your time for you to regroup, to
regroup,
rejuvenate, to
rejuvenate.
relax, and to just wind down sometimes. You have to, because otherwise, if you don't, you will be too consumed with what's going on that you're not gonna be able to show up.
And that
You're not gonna
guilt,
give it your best like you're wanting to.
the enemy will feed off of that.
Yes, he will definitely make that his
He'll
playground.
turn it into something. He'll turn it into, I gotta do more for my husband and kids. I gotta do more, gotta do more, gotta do more, gotta do more. But the whole time, God is saying, Sarah, I need you to work on this, what I've given you, the goal that I've given you. I need you to work on this. But then the guilt is saying, no, I need to give my husband and kids more time, more time, more time, more time, more time, more
I've
time, more
been
time.
there.
And that's what the enemy wants to do. And so we have to be careful of how we do that, because there's nothing wrong with spending time to yourself, bro.
Nothing at
Nothing wrong.
all.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going to get your nails done, hair done, whatever you got to get done. There's nothing wrong with going out to yourself or going to your restaurant with your sisters and just going to hang, or even by yourself. There's nothing wrong with making your music on yourself. You got to work on music. You want to go beats, if you want to work on art, whatever you want to do. There's nothing wrong with doing that by yourself. And then watch this. What end up happening too is your work ethic, your kids will see that. They're like, Mom, what you working on? They can pick up something from you of your talents, which will open a door to their talents, and which will allow them to actually work more on their talents to the excellence that you want them to work towards. So we have to know that even though I want to be great for my spouse, I want to be great for my kids, I want to be there for my kids, I want to be this. Also, like Jeremiah, last time I was making beats, I told Jeremiah to come in here. I said, man, listen to this beat or whatever. He's like, man, this beat is clean and stuff. Like, I have to start including my kids because I actually made music. I made music. I had to, and I know Jeremiah, he loves music. And it's like, this could be an open door for him. Yeah, I may be doing it right now, but how do I know that this equipment that I got is not for him later on in his near future? Because Jeremiah loves music. So it's the thing of, don't look at it as I need to do more, but look at it as, you know what? Okay, God, let me work on my goals, get my time. I know my kids are okay. I know my husband is good. I know he happy. I know they good. So let me just work on this. And I know that they'll support me. And I know if my kids need help, I'm gonna be there for them. I'm gonna be there for them. I'm gonna continue to educate them, but I'm gonna make sure I set time to myself. And then your husband trust me, your husband gonna understand, bro. He gonna understand. And James, I know James, he ain't gonna trip. James cool like that. So he ain't gonna trip. So it's like, we just have to make sure we watch what we think for ourselves, because the enemy can play that and he can make you miss your mark of what God is trying to do in your life. And I understand. And I understand you wanting to be there. Sarah, I totally understand, because especially with me dealing with this illness, I wish I could do more for Karla. And sometimes I let that guilt eat me up. But at the same time, Karla remind me, TJ, you dealing with stuff. So I understand that.
But I can, what I can say, I feel you, I understand, because that's how I am. I'm a pusher. I'm a supporter. I'm gonna make sure, I'm one that makes sure everybody else is good before I make
Right.
sure I'm good.
Yeah.
And I had to learn throughout the years that you have to stop and breathe. You have to stop and take a moment. You have to stop and remember you, because you're losing yourself. And it was several times that I've done that, that I had to remember, that God had to remind me, girl, you tripping. You doing too much. Let me do this. I worry about this. I got this. I just need you to be okay. And to be in a for you to be able to still give, because right now you killing yourself, you drowning. It's too much. You're trying to take on too much. You're forgetting about who I am in you all's life. You're forgetting about who I am in the midst, in the marriage. You're forgetting about just who I am, period, even before all of this. And because I gave you all of this, don't you think I'm gonna help you maintain it? I'm gonna help you keep it. So you doing too much is stop trying to take on more than what you need to. Don't Yeah, you try to make sure everybody else is good, but God needs you to be good, because you can't keep going. You can't keep pushing for everybody else when you don't have the energy, when you're drained. You can't keep pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring out. You got to at some point be refilled. You have to at some point get poured back into. And whether it's coming from the children, artists, or your spouse, or God directly, or however he gives you that refill that you need, then it's you. But you have to take a moment. You have to take, it's necessary. It's necessary. I can't stress it enough that it's necessary. And it's no need, no way at all. No, it's nothing wrong with it. And as I said, that just because you take time for yourself doesn't mean you're putting you first. That just means you haven't forgotten about you.
Right.
And I got, that was a post that I saw and had to reshare it a couple of days ago. That is a reminder that don't lose you. Don't forget about you, because you're destined for greatness too.
You're
And
destined for greatness.
you can't get there being half of who you are, not reaching your potential, because you're doing too much for everybody else, because you're pouring into everybody else and not allowing yourself to be poured into. And that it's too easy that it happens. It's too easy that it happens. And because I had to take the time to stop and think and breathe and remember, reanalyze stuff, and stop trying to do this and be this for everybody, that then I was able to see my goals again. I was able to see my dreams again. I was able to say, ooh, I want this. Ooh, I want to be able to do this. At first I couldn't do that, because I was too consumed and too worried about making sure he good, making sure the boy's good. And that was from day one.
Yeah.
Because that's what I saw too, though, too. That's how my mom is. She wants to make sure everybody is good. Then worry about, then, and not, she don't, if she lacking, then whatever. So as long as everybody else good, we good. That's how I was taught. But I had to break that cycle, because I have to remember I can't forget about me, because I can't continue to show up for everybody else if I'm not 100 either.
Right. Right. That's right. That is right. I'm hoping that. Um, oh, you are welcome. You're welcome, dearest.
Dearest.
Welcome. So I say haste.
What is that?
I used to call her. That was her nickname back in the day. Haste.
Haste.
Yes, Haste. That was. I had nicknames for all of them. Nene was Astrodome. Rachel was Hershey's Chocolate, and Sarah was Haste. I had nicknames for all my sisters. So my nickname was TJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, they didn't have nicknames for me. I was TJ. No, I ain't have no nicknames. But let's see. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for asking these questions and everything. This was awesome.
She said your nickname was Dork. Dang. 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 Brr. Dang.
Oh,
that's messed up. Got alone. Got alone.
Okay, but she got me on that one. Yes, I forgot. Nene D used to call me Dork. But it was a question Nene had asked earlier, and I think it was something about Street Fighter. And of course, I would win in Street Fighter. So thank you, Nene. And I know Nene asked that earlier, and it was way early. So I would win, Nene, of course. But I just don't have the game yet. I'm going to get it. But I would win all the way. So just thank you. But y'all, we appreciate it, man. You guys, if anybody, before I end the segment, do anybody have any questions? Last minute. If there will be no more questions, man, we're gonna go ahead and end it here. This was an awesome episode. I like this episode, man. I love communicating with y'all, answering these questions. I'm gonna try to do this once a month. I'm gonna try to do a Q&A once a month to give people time to communicate with us and ask questions. I try to do that. It was not that funny, Rachel. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do this once a month to give you guys the platform, the stage to kind of do that, man. To ask us questions and everything. So what was this? This was June, so we'll do it at the end of July. But yeah, man. So this is 4th of July weekend. Get your fireworks ready. Don't blow up stuff.
Please don't.
And
oh, I'm so glad. Oh, dang, I gotta work. Oh, Lord.
Yep, you gotta work. I'm off.
Oh, but no, it don't matter because I'm doing the day. That's okay, y'all. People don't pop fireworks during the day, so I'm good. Never mind. I'm straight.
But y'all enjoy yourselves, man. Enjoy yourselves this holiday. Like I said, don't blow up nothing and everything. But man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. It was well spent. Thank you guys for tuning in. And Big Old Head. Now, that was a song. I made that song.
Oh, Lord.
I did. It's a big old head. It's a big old head. It's a big old head. You know somebody made a song off of that, dude? Somebody made a song off of what I sung. And it actually was on the radio. And it was sung exactly how the way I sung it. I could have made a lot of money for that song.
See, got stuff in them and don't use it. Remind them, Lord. And he talking about he want more finance going on. He ain't using what you done gave him, Jesus. No, let me stop.
Hey, I got a question for y'all. How many of y'all would want to see the book Alpha It All Begins Here published?
Y'all it's already published. Y'all need to republish.
No, it's
launched
not.
Again.
I took it off the show. It's not.
But it was published.
It was. but it's not. But hey, if y'all want to see that book published or whatever,
They don't even know what it's about.
If you want to see that book published, let me know. And I'll go ahead and publish
this boy
for y'all.
sitting on the book, y'all.
It's finally done. I finally edited the best way I could. I got it done. So I corrected everything that was incorrect that editors did. And so I did it. And so if y'all want that book to come out, man, let me know and I'll go ahead and just publish that mug.
You gonna put that mug out even if they don't want that. Put it out there anyway.
Man, I've been sitting on that. I've been sitting on that for a long time. So it was a minute. That was a minute. Amen. Speak over yourself. I've never seen it. Amen. I'm glad she received that. So, but listen, guys, I'm glad y'all for tuning in on tonight and everything. It's Friday. Go enjoy yourselves. Y'all have a blast. And you thinking about the book, Rachel? Let me know, Rachel. Let me know, Rachel. I know you're gonna let me know. Let me know, Rachel. Let me know. I'll put it out there. But yeah, let me know, man. And Rachel, what are the faces for? Just let me know, yes or no. That's good. But no, but yeah, y'all let me know, man. It's a my son want to read it too. So yeah, he wanted out there too. So I even got somebody to redraw the art. I think I shared that with y'all. Somebody redrew the art for me, the front cover. Yeah, I guess a relaunch. Yeah, because the first book wasn't edited right, and then when I got it re-edited, the editor he did such a bad job, dude. Oh my god, bro, I was so upset. But yeah, so yeah, it'll be a relaunch. So I'll relaunch it, make it real, and I changed the story up too. I changed the story up so it's different. So y'all let me know. Let me know. But in the meantime, man.
Well, if you don't put that book out there.
I said I'm telling them to let me know. Yeah, they let me know. That's why she was saying relaunch.
Yeah, that's a relaunch. If you don't put that book out there.
So
yeah, you need a whooping.
Amazon. I think they would put it on Amazon.
It was on Amazon before.
It was, but I took it off. So I have to.
We know that. We just saying put it back on there. And they probably need to do
they have to reprint it. So once they reprint it, we'll have to pay again.
Duh. But we just saying, put it back on there.
Okay.
And probably make a what you call it, a digital downloadable copy.
They had that too. I had all that.
Listen,
I just got to do
get it done.
Ow.
Go for.
I'll save up some cash. But listen, but hey guys, but check that out. So I'll do it pretty soon because that's been on my heart to push that book out there because I just got stuff sitting on that I need to start putting out there, y'all. I'm serious.
Stretch your hands toward the computer to the screen and say, Lord, touch Jesus. Make him do it. Put some fire underneath that behind. Make him do it, Jesus.
But listen, y'all enjoy y'all 4th of July weekend, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. And of course, I'll get y'all the next episode, probably either Monday or Thursday. I'll let y'all know what we're gonna talk about next week. But love y'all, stay blessed. It was 10 of y'all on here, so don't forget to click like. The more likes I get, the more this will it'll circulate. So don't forget to click like before you log off. But God bless y'all, man. Peace.
Deuces.